Welcome to Home and Away, hosted by myself, Graham Spice, and Glen Cowie, where we talk about all things the World Cup. This episode we're joined by Chris Herrera from Buenos Aires to preview the England-Argentina semi-final match and discuss the other semi-final and to look back on the quarter-final matches that brought both teams to this point. A lot to discuss, so let's get into it.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day, home and away.
Glenn, how are you?
I'm good. Everything that I was hoping for, with everything crossed, has come to pass. We are playing Argentina, which I wanted. So yes, I'm well. How are you, Graham? You keeping well, mate?
I'm okay, yeah. It's a bit of a dead day today. I had a lot of work on, which was good really, because it meant the day went quickly, because I'm really just looking forward to Wednesday now.
Yeah.
So,
also for you, a reasonable time kickoff finally, 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's the first one for a while. Yeah. Since the first match.
5 a.m. I will no doubt be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm sure, 2 hours before kickoff. But yeah, before we get ahead of that, Chris, welcome, mate. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Thanks for having me. And yeah, just like you mentioned, we did our homework. Now we're here.
Yeah, indeed.
We're going to see each other on Wednesday. It's going to be a great match, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it.
As am I. And I'm really keen, Chris. Thank you again for joining us. Obviously, you're based in Buenos Aires. Look, a city and a country I'm yet to get to, and I really want to. We were talking off air about Tottenham's connection with all things Argentinian, right? Pochettino, Ardiles, Villa, Lamela, Lo Celso, there's so many, Romero. But what's the vibe in Argentina and in particular Buenos Aires? I mean, for me, this Argentina team doesn't look, they look like they can be got at, right? As has been proven by Egypt and Cape Verde and Switzerland. But do you feel that you've played well? Do you feel that it's eventually going to come unraveled? Do you feel you're relying too much on Messi? What's the general vibe across Argentina and from your personal view as well?
Right. So let's start first with how it's, how the atmosphere is around the city. Right?
Yeah.
I think we did not notice we were playing a World Cup until the quarterfinals. And even then, when the Egypt game came into, I think it was last week, when the comeback happened, which was miraculous. I was looking at some data, and I think it was like a 0.16% chance of it happening because of the context and the circumstances that were involved in such a game. So I don't think any other team could have pulled it off besides this Argentina team, and it's because of the mentality that they have and what they know is at stake here. And speaking of stakes, not the
very Argentinian.
You're gonna if you decide to come, let me know, and we're gonna go out to get some really good
100%. It's a place I've got to get to. Yeah,
absolutely. But regarding statistics and data, yes, Argentina is not playing to the fullest brightness that we were accustomed to maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago even. Even the Copa America after the World Cup was very sluggish from them. I mean, they were very slow. The pace that we saw on that World Cup final 4 years ago is nowhere to be seen right now. And from my point of view, it's more than logical. You had very young players. Obviously, the 4-year gap is something. But at the same time, you had players who needed to step up, meaning that it was their first World Cup showing. It was their first international tournament. And they didn't have enough or many games on their backs throughout the year coming up to the World Cup. The situation is different now. Even if they maintain their qualities or improve them, as I think they've done, namely Enzo, Fernandez, McAllister, and well, our defenses on Martinez and Romero, they still have a lot of fatigue from all the games that they've played, and it is showing. It is very evident. and also it's not helping that the climate in the United States is, how it is right now. And it goes both ways. It goes for both teams. I'm not saying that this is like an excuse. But at the same time, when
yours is cooler at the moment. It's Southern Hemisphere, so you're cooler at the moment. What's the kind of weather like in Argentina at the moment?
Oh, we're freezing to death down
here.
here.
Same. You're the same. Yeah, you're winter like we are.
Yeah. It's horrible down here. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But most of the players that we have all play in Europe.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a debate that Enzo played around 50 or 60 something games during this calendar year.
He from Club World Cup, wasn't it, all the way through?
Exactly. He hasn't rested since the Club World Cup, and even then, before the Club World Cup, he was still playing. He hasn't had a chance to recover. He's gonna burn out, and we're lucky that he hasn't gotten an injury or something even more serious. The same for Romero. I mean,
he got injured late in the season, so like he was recovering from injury when he flew to Argentina to meet up with the squad. So
and
it's a really valid point, Chris, because I was saying, it might have been to you, Graeme, or somebody else maybe, England's best performers, probably Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. It's not a coincidence that they don't play in the Premier League. Like, I'm convinced that players that play in Germany or Spain or Italy, they
manage the time better, and
they manage so much better. And you talk about, Chris, mentality of the Argentinians, so similar to the English, like at the moment, so similar.
I think that's got us over the line on at least two of the matches.
Yeah,
really. I saw the Mexico game. Well, I saw all the games because of work. Graeme knows. But the thing is that
I'm monitoring them.
And I've been enjoying them more than anything. But that's just me. And I love good football, and I think England is one of the. I think for me it's even better to watch the football that England produces rather than watching what Spain is doing or what France does. France, I see them as a club. I don't see them as a nation or a country. I don't want to get into politics or anything, but honestly, I mean, you can see that they don't have that. I mean, Mbappe does because of the context of him losing the last World Cup and his mentality. You can see it in his personality, but the other guys, they don't really care. I mean, they just play and they're just that good. Spain is another context that I don't like their style. They're very defensive. Their build-up play is very good. I agree, but at the same time, I think they're far from from the team that they were last Euro. And what I see in England is exactly what I see in Argentina. They are just playing with what they have and
a spirit
and with who they are and the only thing that's reining them in and that's keeping them close is a good manager. I think Tuchel or Tuchel, I don't know the pronunciation, but he is doing the things correctly. And I saw actually this interview that he had post game about this journalist tried to get
Gabriel Clark. Yeah, I thought that was very poor journalism.
It's horrible because he tried to get an emotional answer from him and also twist the expression that he was. I mean, he's a German guy. German people are very literal. You cannot take them, as how they speak. And the thing is that Tuchel had a very good point. He said, okay, we were lucky this time. I didn't like how the team won, but they won because of the mentality.
Yeah. But then it got worse. He then went to Jude Bellingham and said, your manager just said you were shit.
Yeah, I saw that. And Jude, obviously, I mean, he did a great game. I mean, he was great in the game. And he said what he said, right? But anyways, I mean,
so
poor journalism.
I have a question, Chris. I was messaging with my friend back in the UK, another Graeme, in fact, good guy, Villa fan. And I asked him, I said, out of the Argentinian 11, who would you take to replace anyone in our 11? And I arrived at, I would take Emiliano Martinez and I'd take Leo Messi. And I maybe begrudgingly would take Romero, but he annoys me because I think he's so ill-disciplined at times. But for the most part, those would be the ones I would say I would take, and they would improve England. Who would you take, Chris, from the English team? I think we've lost your video, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
it's okay, no worries.
You're right. Who would you take from the England team? I'm just intrigued to know this because I feel that we're good and we've got some really good players, but I'm also English, right? So I'm going to be a little biased. But as an Argentinian, who would you take from the England team, if any?
Look, I mean, Gordon wasn't on my radar, to be honest. I first heard about him from the transfer that Barcelona had made and had scheduled. We're lacking. I mean, Di Maria is, I think, even more important.
Is he about 72, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's actually younger than Messi, believe it or not.
Wow.
And the thing is that the functionality that he had, we always took for granted. We're lacking wingers, and that's the reality. I mean, for the last 3 games that we had and that we struggled on for sure, we unlocked those games by moving Messi out of the middle part of the field and putting him where Di Maria would be, or would have been. So having to widen the defense line by moving your main attacking force to a wide area, and then having no one in the middle to attack because Lautaro or Julian are not in the best shape either. You're moving all of your threat and just putting him on one side. Imagine if we had Di Maria on that side. We don't, and that's why we are so reliant on prolonging the game and drawing the opposition out until they get tired, until they make a mistake, and then striking. So the people that I would pick from England would be either of your wingers. Both are fine. Just give
Saka rather than Madueke, I'm assuming. Because
Madueke has been doing good. I mean, obviously we see more of him.
You haven't read any of the press in the UK, then.
What Madueke gives us is he gives us legs and he's a runner. His final product is questionable.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah, but we need a runner. That's exactly what we need. We need a runner more than a technical guy. A technical guy, we have Messi. We don't need more technicality. We need somebody who can step up the pace and be, and try to cause some chaos inside, either on the side or in the middle part. But we don't have that right now, and we cannot be relying on Messi's acceleration at 39. We can rely on him to do the finishing on that side. He's lethal. He still is. He still got it. I don't know how. I don't know how he's better now than how he was.
Agree. It's like
I have no idea.
It's like Benjamin Button. He's going backwards.
Yeah. At this point, nothing surprises me, and it's. I mean, for me, it's a blessing because without him, I don't think we would have made it out of the group stage. To be honest.
Interesting.
I think he looks better now than he did 4 years ago.
I think so.
It's a weird thing to say, because he's 4 years older, and these are not easy 4 years, is it? It's like he's in the sunset of his career.
So it's interesting to me, Chris, on the wide players. So does Jude Bellingham get in your midfield?
With a fit Enzo, no, he wouldn't.
Really interesting.
He wouldn't. I mean, from my perspective, and I've watched a few Chelsea games. I've watched a lot of Madrid games. Jude doesn't really. He hasn't been delivering on the club level, to be honest. And I think to make this squad, this Argentina squad, you need to have, a constant rhythm and a constant performance. And the only guy who's exempt of that is Messi, because it's just him,
Madrid had a terrible season, though, didn't they? I think he wasn't alone in having a poor season. There was a lot of players that underperformed.
Well, Bellingham,
and they've gone through managers as well.
There's a well-known piece in one of the newspapers in England before the tournament saying leave Jude at home, and there was many respected pundits saying he shouldn't start, and it's almost lit a bit of a fire for this tournament for him,
No, I disagree on that. I mean, I think Jude is a great player. I don't think he's better than our midfield in its prime, and I think we were lucky enough in 2022 for Lo Celso to get injured, that we got to see what we saw from McAllister and from Enzo and from De Paul at one point. De Paul right now, I think the thing is that we cannot switch De Paul from Jude because they play different things. They play, they have different profiles. But at the same time, I think that if we were to have Jude, we would need to switch up the whole scheme.
Yeah, you'd have to play completely differently. He's more of a 10.
He's more of a 10 and leave Messi as a striker and whatnot. But for sure it would be great. But the thing is,
it makes sense because if you've got wide players, Messi moves back into the middle, and then the team's stronger for it. So you can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
But before we cover the other semi-final and maybe look back on England's quarter-final, Graeme, we touched off air, Chris. We talked about obviously a little bit of the history of this fixture and the I guess there's no getting away from it, the needle and the spiciness. You, like me, we were saying off air, you wanted this fixture as well, right? You wanted the two football heritages to clash again for the first time in a long time at a major tournament. So you're as excited for it from a spectacle point of view?
I think first it's just a football game. Let's get that out of the way. I think we cannot fall into that same narrative that we need to continue whatever happened 40, 50, 60 years ago. It doesn't make sense. Also, we need to start enjoying things for what they are, I think. I mean, obviously, I come from a younger generation. Many people from my generation think like this. My parents or my family as a whole, they don't think like this, obviously, because, they lived through that moment. But the thing is that the message is one thing. I mean, everybody's saying, what I mean by that is everybody from each squad is saying that it's just a football game because they believe it that way. But at the same way, I think Argentina will get a little bit more motivation from the whole thing and the whole context internally is what I think. There's still some open wounds on both sides. For you guys, it's more on the football field, and for us, it's on the other field. But the thing is that it's going to be a great match, and I can't wait. I mean, even in our poor form, which I think England comes up more as a favorite than us, and we can speak up more about that in a bit. I think honestly, it's going to be a great match, and I'm pretty excited to see if the guys will deliver. To be honest, and I think they will on both sides.
I can see it being, which we're on the wrong end of a defeat. I can see it being very similar to the 1998 game, Graeme. How old are you, Chris?
I'm 31. I was lucky enough to actually. I remember a few things. It was like I was 3 years old, but I was already every single game. My family, asado, which is a barbecue, and the usual ritual, the pre-game ritual, and everything. So I got fond memories of it, and I think we won on penalties, right? On
You did, and it was more the manner of how it started. I think it was 1-1 after 14 minutes. Like, it just exploded into life. And Michael Owen, of course, made it 2-1, and then right before half-time, it was 2-2. So 2-2 at half-time.
And Beckham got sent off in that match as well.
That's the only good thing Simeone has done.
It's funny you mentioned Simeone, because there's something going around where they saw each other in Miami, and there's a photograph of the two of them together. It's quite funny. But I can see it being very. Look, I tell you what, it's not going to be. It's not going to be boring, and it's not going to be 0-0. There's going to be goals.
What I was going to say is really interesting is that, given that we've both teams that have gone long into tournaments, is how we haven't actually met each other that many times.
Oh.
I think it's 62. 66, we met you in the quarterfinals on the way to obviously winning it at Wembley. Then it was from 60. Then it was 86, which obviously is the Maradona really turning it on for that match, and with a bit of help from a blind referee.
It was, I mean, that match specifically, if you want to know my opinion on that one, I mean, he just had to do the second goal. He had to do it that way because otherwise, I don't see any other way of them winning that match after that handball, to be honest. He just had to do it that way. He just had to shut up everybody and say, okay, here I am. I just, did a goal with my hand, but I'm going to make the goal of the century. I don't care.
It's almost like, Maradona. From an England fan and just a general football fan, I mean, for me, Diego Maradona was the greatest player to ever play the game. And the challenge I have with him doing that, he didn't need to. He's that good. Why would you need to do that? You can do what he did with the goal of the century. You could probably do that twice, right? So we had the 86 Graeme, and then we go 98. And then we had that weird friendly. Remember in 2005, we played Argentina in a friendly in Geneva. And it was mental. We won it with the last kick of the game. But it was like a friendly. I'm like, these are never friendly. It's like,
yeah.
But, well, look, Chris, before we move on to the other semi and reflect on England's quarterfinal, I'm thoroughly excited. I'm looking forward to the game. We'll come back around in a little bit for a prediction, but I can't wait. But Graeme, the England
Lost
Norway
your video again, Chris.
Yeah, sorry.
There we go. Sorry.
The England Norway game, Graeme, played in very not Norwegian climate.
It was
absolutely absurd.
Mid-30s, 100% humidity. Threats of thunderstorms.
I think the real feel was 43 Celsius on the pitch.
Wow.
I mean, that is just absolutely abhorrent to play.
And that has to have an impact on the game as a whole, doesn't it?
And then you've got the players, particularly for England, coming off the back of Mexico City, having to deal with the altitude. And then
the only thing I'll say is it clearly didn't impact Haaland because you'd have had to have moved to have got sweaty, right?
Yeah. The one player I felt so sorry for was Declan Rice. Like, he'd had a bug and he'd been in bed 3 days, losing fluids from being sick, and then he has to go and play in that for 45 minutes.
And he still managed 45 minutes though, didn't he? Even if he was a bit below par.
Yeah. Graeme, I'll get your point, and Chris, I'd be keen to get a neutral's point in terms of the game against Norway, but I was never ever fully worried that we weren't going to get it done. I just had a feeling we'd find a way, and I think our changes with especially Morgan Rogers and Jed Spence, I said that to my mate, I said, those two players look really lively, and we're going into extra time, and I think we'll get this done, and we should have probably had a penalty as well. I thought that was a penalty. But Graeme, were you ever concerned? Did you ever think we were going home?
I thought there was a chance that I could see penalties at one point. I think we're really this could go. There were times when Norway were really good on the break. Yeah. And they especially out wide on the left. That ball out. There was plenty of space out for them, and they were causing us problems. But we were really lucky in that we marshalled. Haaland was never allowed time in the centre of the box to do anything. So I think we did enough defensively, but still a bit shaky. I mean, it was just funny to see Dan Burn come on again and head everything.
The wall of Dan Burn. I'll tell you what, Alfie Haaland's dad's come out and said, congratulations, Bellingham and the referee. I don't think the referee...
He was a bit bitter, wasn't he?
Yeah, Haaland's dad seemed very bitter. I think he'd had a few to drink from looking. Every time they cut to him, he was sipping on something.
And even he was like cutting V signs, wasn't he, to the TV cameras? And I'm like, he's a bit strange.
But the question I had for him and Norwegian fans is, if you're going to blame anyone, you've got to blame Alexander Sørloth, who was through on goal, and if he'd squared it, Haaland was in. I don't know what he was.
And he wouldn't have missed that. He wouldn't have missed it.
You're looking that way to the touchline, or you're looking that way to Haaland. Yeah, go that way. It's but what did you make of it, Chris? Looking at your knowing that they would have been an opponent, Norway or England at the time. How did you think the game played out? Did you ever think England were going out at any point?
Well, I started looking seriously at Norway when they were playing Brazil, and I know this is a much simpler Brazil, Catenaccio-esque Brazil for some reason. Ancelotti, I don't know why Brazil was, what Brazil was thinking by signing an Italian guy for their games. But anyways, I was looking at how Norway was playing, and it comes back to this thing about mentality, right? Because the first goal that Haaland scores, Norway was still playing very defensive, and the block that they were maintaining was stopping Brazil. I mean, even if it's Ancelotti's Brazil, it is still Brazil, and they have their their attacking prowess and everything. So that was impressive for me. And then afterwards, when they scored the 2-0, and then they turn into I don't understand. I mean, they started playing tiki-taka against Brazil. Excuse me. I remember this specific play where they started holding the ball on their side of the pitch.
Yeah,
and they were just playing. They were just passing first touch. And for me, it was. I mean, an European team playing like this doesn't make sense. And even then, I mean, why Norway? So I started taking them a bit more seriously. And then having Haaland and his presence is also a positive point. But still, coming into this match, and you guys just came out of an Azteca win. That is something that few people that watch football right now don't understand. I mean, that stadium, it has something that just elevates it elevates everything in your squad. And if you come out victorious, it's something that will not, go unnoticed on your next match. And effectively, that's what happened, because Bellingham was on another level. I mean, he went another step beyond what we saw on Mexico. And on Mexico, we saw a good performance.
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel like Norway was going to win, even when they were up 1-0.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of that, that energy that you get out of from your previous match against Mexico, and also because you guys have a good attacking squad, even if Kane didn't show up.
Correct.
He was able to manufacture those spaces for Bellingham to just just stroll into the small area. It was great. I mean, it was a good win.
Well, we've covered it a little bit, but as do you with Julian Alvarez. I mean, when he pops up and does what he did against Switzerland, you don't need Messi to be doing it all the time when you've got a player like that. So absolutely, yeah, you've got power across the front line as well.
I think we're quite lucky as well in that we've got good depth in the squad as well.
We do. Saka,
especially when you've got these kind of really sapping weather conditions, when you can refresh the team and not see a drop off in performance. You can bring on more pace, you can bring on more energy.
And when he's looking
that's really important when you're playing these kind of matches.
Yeah, like players like Morgan Rogers, who played a lot in the qualifiers for Tuchel, and then he's getting minutes and he comes on and he gets the second goal. And that's what I loved seeing from that second goal. Very similar to Spain's goal, in that just have a shot, somebody have a pop, and you never know. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same with
Alfie. I don't know why.
Just have a shot.
I don't understand why people are not. I mean, why? I think that there is this fear that they're gonna get you under counterattack.
Yeah, it's cagey. Yeah.
And the thing is that nobody wants to run. Nobody wants to do that sprint to go back and get the ball from whoever is counterattacking, because it's so hot out there. I mean, the pitch is unplayable sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think that's why not many teams are not taking that risk, besides France, because they're France. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's why. I'm trying to get an explanation out of it, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Graeme.
No, I just think I think there's a bit of conserving energy in it for sure. I think and I think you have to be smart, right? You could just run around like at the beginning of the match and you'd be dead by half time.
Well,
so it kind of makes sense.
This is also, and I touched on it with our Norwegian guest last week. it was a shame that game was played in those conditions because it absolutely had an impact. But on the other side of it, I'm so happy that England and Argentina are playing each other in a controlled environment where it's going to be air conditioned. I think it's a max of 20 Celsius in the stadium. So that should help inform a really good game of football. But before we move on, because I want to just get predictions for the two semis, but before we do that, I did watch both other quarterfinals. I wish I hadn't got up for the Spain-Belgium one. That was pretty bloody boring. Like, it was 5 a.m. for me. I really don't have a great deal to say other than boring. It
wasn't a great game, was it, at all?
And to Chris's point, there doesn't seem a great deal of passion and togetherness from the Spanish. They just feel like they're there as a club almost. It's just getting it done. It's very, very boring. Not a lot happened. I hope... Look, if England beat Argentina, I want to crack up France, not Spain, because I think it'll be a better game. I think Spain will just...
Smother you
and bore you to death. So I don't have a great deal.
I think what I think interesting for the other semi is how I think it's going to be. I think Spain will play a really low block, and I don't think they'll commit players forward, because if they commit their fullbacks forward, they'll get punished, because France will be in round the outside of them and make a mess of their defence. So it could be interesting. Well, we'll see, I guess.
They're the one team that could get a result against France, right? Because of their pragmatism, because of how they play the game.
Yeah.
They haven't... Have they conceded?
They could ball them into submission.
I don't think Spain have conceded yet, have they? Or they conceded...
No, they I think scored.
Yeah,
one.
they did.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're correct. Sorry. So conceded one goal. And then the other quarter-final... I felt really sorry for Morocco because they were missing Cerebra. He'd been really good, and he was injured, and I think that changed the way they played. I was hoping for an upset there, but...
I thought I was quite keen on an upset for that one as well. I think they're a good team, a really good team.
And then obviously France did what they do, right? They soaked up, they hit... And the thing about France's transitional play is they will be doing that, and they're almost looking like they're sat in a low block, and then they just go bang, and their front three are just away, and it's just so quick and like so dangerous, scary quick.
It's like they split they play on both on two halves, right? You have defense and you have the offense. There's no midfield, and this player, I think Kone is an amazing player, by the way. I mean he's I think he's the link between those two halves. But they seem to be playing like another type of football, like a Brazil of 02 football or something like that. It's amazing. I mean, it's a pleasure to see them play. It's scary to see them play.
Yeah. And like the likes of Turkey can't even get in the team.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? They're that good. It's amazing.
It's pretty incredible. And for the first time ever in the history of the World Cup, we end up with 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the FIFA rankings in the semi-finals, which is quite.
And it's the first time since 1990 that all of the 4 last teams are previous winners.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's a great stat. I knew they'd all won it. Yeah, I hadn't really considered that. Yeah, that's a great stat. Yeah. Well, let's hope that... I'm looking at Chris's shirt there with the 3 stars on it. I'm hoping for a second one. So, well, look, I don't have a great deal else to really cover other than to maybe get some predictions for each semi-final. Maybe we'll start with the one where we have nothing riding on it. I think France get it done, but I think it goes to extra time. I think they beat Spain 1-0 or something from an Mbappe. I think they soak it up and hit them. I think that's what happens for me, but I'll go 1-0 France. Where do you sit, Graeme?
I was thinking the same. I think 0-0 after 90 minutes, then 1-0 in extra time.
A boring semi-final.
Really dull. Absolutely dull. With Chris? France having had 30 shots. but just soaked up the pressure. And
Chris, where do you sit, mate, on prediction for the France game?
I would say I'd like them to go to extra time, just for them to be a little bit more tired.
Yes.
So whoever faces them out of us just gets a better chance. But to be honest, I think it's going to be a 1-0 to either France or Spain.
It could be, it could be. Like, it could be either of them, really, couldn't it? Because I can see it being a very cagey. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting
chess match. Yeah,
a bit of a chess match.
And keep in mind that Spain has won the last two head-to-heads that they've had.
Yeah. And Yamin Lamal has not really got going yet. He hasn't. I don't think he's scored yet. So be interested to see.
He needs to show up, but I don't think Spain is counting on him to do anything. To be honest, I think they have other strength and they are working on that side of the coin rather than the Lamine coin. If he comes up and he shows up, I think it's going to be important. But let's see. We'll see.
It's it's going to be an interesting one. Now on to the one that we all care about. I don't think it'll be boring. I don't think it'll be 1-0. I think after 90 minutes it's going to be level. I think it's going to be like something mental, like 2-2 or 3-3 or something. I think it goes to extra time. Look, my heart says England win it in extra time, or we do the unthinkable and win it on penalties. But I'm too scared to make that prediction. I just don't know. I'm going to just say 3-3, and then what happens. I don't know.
one for the ages.
Yeah, one for the ages. Graeme, what do you reckon, mate?
I also think it will be really close. I think a 2-2. I think there'll be goals. I don't think either team's able to keep the other team out.
No.
So I can see a 2-2 and then extra time. I think it'll be a winner in extra time, though. I don't think it will go to penalties.
Yeah, okay.
But I can't
pick.
It could go either way. I feel very much like the Norway game that I think I said 1-1 after 90 minutes, and then one goal wins it, and it could go either way, and that played out as well. And I feel similar. I think once you get into that, it depends what's happened in that 90 minutes as well. Like how many players are on the pitch still, what substitutions or injuries have happened, really plays into what happens in that last 30 minutes of extra time, right? So very hard to judge.
Chris, split the difference, mate. What are you going for? I'm assuming you're going for an Argentina win.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, looking at how they've played so far, both teams, it's very close with a slight edge for England, I would say, given, the internal things that I know about Argentina and their weaknesses. And I would say that, I've heard a lot about, I've watched a lot of pundits from your side of the team. I don't know, who is this guy? Gary Neville, Ian Wright, and they were scared. They were really scared. And honestly, you guys are overestimating how we're playing, but at the same time, after I saw what I saw against Egypt, I think this team is very hard to win against. And I will say it this way. If you guys don't win it on the extra time, on penalties, it's a clear win for us. And we'll see. But
we'll see.
Emi Martinez still has something up his sleeve.
If I'm not mistaken, Neville would have been in that team in '98.
He would have been, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he has.
He actually played really well after we went down to 10 men because he kind of had to. He had to do two jobs. Like he had to be a bit of an attacking outlet at times and defend. Because Beckham, of course, had been sent off. One thing we didn't ask you, Chris, which we like to on our podcast, is how are you viewing the game, mate? Are you watching with family, friends? Like, what are you going to a bar, or how are you doing it?
Unfortunately, I will watch it while at work.
Oh, mate, that's the worst. Graeme, give him some time off.
That's one of the bad things about this industry. But again, I mean, it's a good way because
there's worse ways to earn a living, though, right? Watching football.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is that it's better for the heart because how they are playing. If I were to be in a pub or in a,
it's a funny one. I've watched all the games, England games at home. As I've got older, I just prefer that. I've got my spot on the couch. I know my TV. I'm not interrupted. And I was invited to go to the pub. It's 5 a.m. here as well, though, the kick-off, which is not good.
That's nuts, yeah.
And even if it was 5 p.m., I would have still said no to the pub. I think I want to watch this one at home and try and enjoy it if that's possible. But But yeah, look, you enjoy it too, Chris. Just don't enjoy it too much.
Yeah, for sure.
It should be one for the ages. It's like you said. It's football. It's
a proper football match.
It's a proper football match.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make this perfect was if it was in the Azteca.
They should have moved it. I don't care. I mean,
100%.
Whatever.
That's where, for me,
let's get it done.
The Azteca should have had way more games. They should have had at least a semi-final, and I'd even say they should have had the final, in my opinion. Like
I agree.
I'd have just had the whole thing in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, exactly. Just do it all in Mexico. Proper football.
There was one point, I think, in the build-up when there was like a cartel war going on in Mexico. You had all the ice stuff going on in the US. And we had guys on from Toronto Spurs, and we were like, can't we just have the whole thing in Canada?
Yeah, there's a little thing in Canada where it's safe. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Well, Chris, thanks so much for joining us, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
It's absolutely on my list. I'm a pretty well-travelled guy. I've been to Brazil, but I want to go to Argentina. I've got to get there. So when I do, I will let you know, and I look forward to sharing a steak with you, mate.
Absolutely. Just tell me when, and we'll sort something out for sure. But thanks for having me, guys. Sure.
Pleasure. All right, Graeme. Thanks so much, mate. If you close us out, Graeme.
I'll see us out. Thanks to everyone who's listened in. Please like and subscribe to the podcast to tickle the algorithm. And we'll speak next time. We'll try and do another episode, probably before the final.
Yeah.
We may or may not be interested in that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we won't be talking...
just so everyone's clear, next week, normal services resumed. We're back to club football and preparations for the new season. So I look forward to that. I'm club before country normally, so that will be...
well, for me, I'm about equal with club and country. So I'm going to say, come on, England.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer